guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project 365, episode 693. Today what we're doing is continuing with our squat help. We moved through the ankles, we moved through the hips. We talked about different ways to get an increased depth. And now we're going to talk about a different limiting factor, a factor that limits us in our torso. And typically being, that is a lack of torso extension, specifically in the thoracic spine. So that's kind of from here up into here, not the lower back. If anything, what we do is we have excessive extension in our lower back, right? So what we're going to try to do is isolate the lower back and the upper back, and then gain thoracic extension in the upper back. And this is how we're going to do it. We're going to replicate our squat position, okay? So what I have here is I have just any old foam roller and a light kettlebell, okay? We get ourselves a wall, and what we're going to try to do is get into that squat position that we would be in the wall. Now, typically what we want to be, or where we want the foam roller to be, is at the apex of that thoracic curve, or that hump in our upper back. That's typically right below or even with where our shoulder blades start, okay? And it'll take like a little bit of figuring out for yourself, and you can kind of jostle back and forth. Watch how, you don't let the white legs out too much. Didn't get enough suntanning in yet. So what I want to talk about before I add weight to this is just the action of this movement. Now, we've done this before in an overhead squat position, okay, when we're trying to increase thoracic extension with an overhead squat. But today we're just worried about just increasing and isolating thoracic extension. So what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to drive my heels into the wall just a little bit. This is going to replicate that squat position. I'm going to push my butt down into the ground. So heels go into the wall, butt goes down into the ground, and now I have a little bit of tension throughout this entire structure. This isolates the low back, gives me a little bit of tension and security there. And now what I want to do is I just want to start to lean and stretch upwards, okay? I know I'm doing this right when I take my nipple line and my belly button and it starts to spread apart as I push back. And you can see this isn't a movement where I'm laying back like this, okay? It's a small movement. I'm just working on trying to get a little bit of extension throughout that thoracic spine. Now, if I'm able to keep my heel pressure into the wall and my butt pressure into the ground, all right, and I'm looking for a little bit more oomph, a little bit more action on this, what I'm going to do is take a light kettlebell, I'm going to put it on top of my chest level, okay? So what that's going to do is as I start to extend backwards, I'm just going to get a little bit more pressure over the fulcrum of that foam roller, okay? So heels into the ground, heels into the wall, butt driving into the ground, and then we're going to do these little tiny thoracic extension moves, okay? We should never be going into hyperextension, and we want to make sure that we're keeping our lower lumbar region taut by driving our heels into the wall and our butt into the ground, okay? Now we would do this and try to get sets of 20 to 25 reps, maybe 2 to 3 sets of 20 to 25 reps. And what we should be able to feel is when we get back up, we should be able to lift, all right, without our rib cages flaring up like that. What we're trying to do is feel that we can lift into extension without flaring out, okay? Guys, I really hope this helps you out, and until tomorrow, we are optimizing function to optimize performance.